What's up, everybody? It's TSGLIVE. Welcome back. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe depending on what you're watching this on. Let's get into these games. Tonight, we have a 5-game slate, December 19th, Wednesday. Last night was a crazy night, and I did not get to post my video. And just know there was a lot of brilliant props on there. I want to move forward and just focus on being consistent, so I'm not even going to say anything, but last night was a hurt piece. But anyway, so the first game of tonight, we have the Miami Heat versus the Boston Celtics. Tonight, I do like the Celtics to play Celtics basketball. I like Derek White for 3 threes. I like Jaylen Brown for 20 to 25 points. I like Peyton Pritchard for maybe 5 to 6 assists. Norman Powell is really the only prop that I like. Maybe Bam rebounds, maybe 8 to 10 rebounds from Bam. Norman Powell 3 threes is a prop that I like. He's their leading scorer. We know how that goes in Miami. But it's just, to be honest, I feel like a normal Celtics game is what can be expected. Even Derek White maybe to get 4 or 5 assists itself. Maybe Peyton Pritchard to get some threes. Peyton Pritchard did not have a good shooting game last time out. So I do expect him to try to get it going as well. The next game, we have the Philadelphia 76ers versus the New York Knicks. I really like this game just based upon how frequently the New York Knicks have been playing. They won the NBA Cup, and they haven't stopped playing since. Last night, Mikal Bridges had a great game. I think versus the 76ers, I think OG Anunoby has to have another good game. Jalen Brunson iced them with a dagger last night as well. So it's like the Knicks are running on fumes at this point, respectively anyway. So I do expect them to lean on the players that they have to lean on. You know, it's kind of like they take turns at this point because they're a full team and they're just playing back to back to back. So I do like OG Anunoby for 3 threes. I have to sneeze, excuse me. I like OG Anunoby for 3 threes, possibly 20 points as well, if not more. You know what I mean? Like if not higher, 25 points. I think Jalen Brunson gets some assists tonight. I like Jalen Brunson for 4 to 5 assists. I think Tyrese Maxey is good for 3 threes as well. Maybe even 4 threes, maybe 20, 25 points. I know that's kind of basic, and I know that a lot of the books that they're going to kill like these numbers, the props numbers, but you just got to get in where you fit in. You know what I mean? Like, again, I do think that this is a game where you can lean on role players for the Knicks. Jordan Clarkson had 18 points last night. I needed him to score 20. I really don't even want to relive it. But again, that's because the Knicks need that extra help, being as though that they've been playing back-to-back games. So I do like the Sixers to possibly come out with a win tonight of just catching the Knicks on heavy legs, but it all depends. I don't really want to lean too heavily on Embiid. One of my favorite props in this game is I do like Quentin Grimes for 3 threes, possibly 15 points. I just, in this matchup, being as though that the Knicks are a full team and they move the ball and they play in transition, I feel like it frees Quentin Grimes up and he doesn't have to play so much one-on-one defense, which would allow him to get in the corner, pick and pop, get those corner threes, get those perimeter threes, and get it on the board. I think he could have 15 points. Maybe even 17, 18 points. But I do like him for 3 threes, 15 points, or 2 threes for 15 points. But I think he will be involved in the Sixers offense tonight for sure. Next game, we have the San Antonio Spurs versus the Atlanta Hawks. Jalen Johnson has had his 30,000 triple-double this season. It's amazing to watch at this point. Victor Wembanyama is still on a minutes restriction. With that being said, I'm falling back from Wemby's props. I'm not going too crazy on Wemby's just because he's not having the time to get the props. He gets the stats he gets in 15 minutes the last couple of games. You know what I mean? I feel like in the Cup game, they, let him play, let him get comfortable because it did have meaning behind it. They wanted to win. But I feel like now, they like, take it easy, big guy. But I like Wemby for 2 blocks. I'm not going to go into the points. I'm not going to go into like his rebounds or his threes because you don't know. But I do like him for 2 blocks. He can get those in one play. One transition down. Wemby could get 3 blocks. So you just really never know. Jalen Johnson for a triple-double. I couldn't imagine what the lines are going to be. They're probably going to be minus 250. But again, they need him, and it seems as though that they're going to just run him into the ground. Atlanta's just going to run him into the ground. Trey has not been offensively playing that well, so we will see how this goes. I do like Trey for the assist tonight. I also like Devin Vassell for 2 threes. Justin Champagny, I hope that's how you pronounce his last name. He went off in the video I made yesterday. I didn't get to post. I definitely said I like him for 3 threes. He gave us 4. So with that being said, I think that the Spurs will kind of get back to their traditional offense. I do like Steph Castle to have a big game, maybe 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 20 points. I think Steph just comes out and, does it all for the team when they need him to do with limited minutes. The Spurs are in a similar situation as the Knicks with just playing back-to-back games, so they're playing on heavy legs. I do expect Keldon Johnson, I believe, had around 18 points, I think, the previous game. He has to help them as well, so I think it'll be a full affair from the San Antonio Spurs. I do like De'Aaron Fox for assists as well tonight. We have the Chicago Bulls versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. They just played 2 nights ago, and I did say that I like the Bulls to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. They had the Cleveland Cavaliers favorited on the spread. I think they're favored again tonight. I think that the Cleveland Cavaliers at home can beat the Bulls tonight. I think that they have been getting beat up by a lot of teams that they shouldn't have been getting beat up by recently. I think that they feel that, and I think that it will reflect. I think they're going to come out with a little extra energy. I'm gonna be honest. I'm staying away from Darius Garland. That's just somebody I don't bet on. No offense, but I just don't. I think that Donovan will have a big game. I think Donovan is good for some threes tonight, possibly 3 threes. I feel like we're gonna have one of them 5 threes, 30-point games from Donovan. No Evan Mobley still. Jared Allen hasn't really been playing the way that I like him to, so it's very hard for me to say like I'm gonna take his props. I think I'm gonna stay away from his rebounds. But if you do, I would just say stay in the low rebound area unless he comes out and gets a lot in the first half. So maybe something live. Yes, maybe something live. I think Kobe White is good for maybe 2 to 3 threes. I think Vu will play a big factor in this game as well. And Josh Giddey is going to be Mr. Josh Giddey. He might get another triple-double again. I know it sounds crazy, but him and Jalen Johnson are very similar in what they do for their teams, which is everything. So it's very easy for them to get a triple-double. I like Josh Giddey. 8 rebounds, 8 assists. If he doesn't get the triple-double, if he doesn't go over, I still like him to get close because that's just how it goes. Maybe 20 points as well. Kobe White maybe can have a great scoring night. He's been trying to get back into rhythm since coming back from injury. The last game of the night that we have is the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm still doing research for this game. There are some props that I do like, but I don't want to overload and just kind of throw stuff out here in this video. So honestly, if you follow me on Twitter, you can see like what I'm thinking of for that game, because I know I probably won't have time to fit it all in this video. I do think Naz Reid is good for possibly 3 threes, or Dante DiVincenzo. They need that offense from them with Anthony Edwards being out. But also on the opposite side, I do think that Lou Dort, is possibly good for 3 threes. Alex Caruso maybe 10 points. Aaron Wiggins. Like the Thunder playing the normal Thunder ball. Chet maybe is probably good for almost 20 points. Maybe, it just depends. But like I said, I don't want to throw nothing out. But again, if you got this far in the video, I appreciate it. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It is December 19th, Friday. Let's make some money. Appreciate it. TSG Live, we out.